It falls into this category of thinking that I don't like, that says you have to be really smart to learn a language. Personally, I think language learning comes down way more to determination, willpower, consistency than your intelligence. I don't think that your intelligence really plays a huge factor in language learning. I think it's more about like how well you can pay attention, listen, and to learn Spanish every day, to listen to new content every day. Because it's not easy, but it's not because it's like hard in an intellectual way. It's just hard in like an ultra marathon way, where like you got to keep going and going and going and going, and it gets tiring. I'm totally opposed to this idea that you have to like be a great memorizer. You have to know all your grammar rules. You have to be like, you have to have a conscious understanding of how the language works to use it. So right around the time I was listening to him, I was also getting into the comprehensible input camp. And I think the last video I ever watched of his was a video where he talked about how Spanish can do like subject, verb, object, and object, verb, subject, which just means that like, and again, I'm not even sure I'm saying that right, but it just means that like in Spanish, people will say, went to the park, the girl, instead of like the girl went to the park. And he was making this huge deal out of it. He's like, this is like super unintuitive. The only way you're gonna be able to get this is if you drill it and drill it and drill it. You have to like listen, watch my videos, buy my courses. And I like, this is like one of the last videos I ever watched from him, and I kind of just had that in the back of my head. I thought about it for a little bit, but I kind of just forgot about it. And like 5 months later, after I got more into the comprehensible input side of things, I realized like, oh, that thing he was talking about, like I just know it, like I just do it. What he was saying was totally not my experience. My experience was some things that seem really unintuitive in the beginning, just over time you just think to yourself, oh, I got that now. And it wasn't like I struggled with it, it wasn't like I drilled it, kind of just happened. That thing specifically was like, turned out to be like the easiest thing, in my opinion. Like there were things that I thought were much more difficult to grasp and understand. That was like nothing. I was like, oh, well, like he just flipped the sentence around. I mean, it doesn't seem that difficult to me. I just remember that he was so adamant that you absolutely need to drill this into your head or you're never gonna be able to understand it. Again, that kind of brings it back to this whole idea of like, well, learning a language is really about your intelligence, it's really just like math and science. Like you just gotta be smart and you'll pick it up. And that is not my experience at all. Language learning has been the most like, you get out what you put in thing I've ever done in my entire life. Like you do an hour of input, you get out an hour of input. It's like, you don't need to be a genius.